Today I want to tell you why I'm replacing this with this. Now we've been using these cattle panel trellises, these 16-foot long galvanized panels for many years to trellis some of our vegetable crops. They work great for cucumbers, for pole beans, and we use them for English peas. They make a really strong trellis, there's no doubt about that. But the one caveat about these cattle panel trellises is that they are cumbersome, they can take a long time to put up, and they're also hard to move around the garden. Now I can install this type of trellis by myself, and I've done it many a times, but it's really a two-man job. The other thing is that they're hard to move around the garden. As much as we like to rotate our crops around here, just putting this up for one season or two seasons and then having to move it to another location can be aggravating and time consuming. So I wanted something that was a little more mobile, something that was easier to set up and easier to take down, so I could rotate my trellis crops around my different garden subplots a lot better. So this stuff here is called Hortonova Trellis Netting. And the commercial cucumber growers around this region have been using this stuff for years, but we've never tried it ourselves until this year. And I can already tell you, this stuff right here is the ticket. This Hortonova Trellis Netting comes rolled up like this, and we've got it available in many different sizes. So you can get the size that's gonna fit your garden perfectly, or you can do like I did and just get a big roll and just cut it to whatever length you like. It unrolls really easily like this, and then it just folds out to the right height. We've got some that's 4 foot tall, and we've got some that's 5 foot tall. This stuff is made from a material called polypropylene, which is a synthetic material, and it reminds me of some really thick, high tensile fishing line. You're not gonna be able to tear this stuff. You can cut it to length easily with some pruning shears, but this stuff's not gonna rip or tear. It's really strong. And what I really like about this Hortonova trellis is that it is super easy and quick to install. So I've got a row of cucumbers here, about a 40-foot row that are just starting to climb along this trellis here. And if I would have did this with cattle panels, it would have probably took me 30 to 45 minutes to install that system. With this Hortonova trellis here, I was able to put this up in about 10 minutes easy. Another great thing about this trellising system is that it doesn't require as many T-posts. With a cattle panel trellis, you'll have T-posts on the end and then one in the middle of the panel, so you end up having T-posts about every 7.5 feet. With this Hortonova trellis, you can stretch your T-posts out to about 10 to 15 feet. So a lot of times you'll end up using half as many T-posts as you would with the panel. The installation on this stuff is really easy. So we first take our roll and just roll it out to the length we need it, and we take some shears and kind of cut it off there. And then we'll unfold it and we'll secure it to a T-post on one end of the row with just some zip ties here, and it usually only takes 3 or 4. And once we have it secured on one end of the row, we'll go ahead and stretch it and pull it tight to the other end of the row and secure it there. And then we can put some zip ties on those T-posts in the middle. It works great for in-ground gardens like we have here, but it also works really great for raised beds. So if you've got a raised bed, it'd be hard to put one of those cattle panels on top of the raised bed and secure it. With this system right here, you can just put a T-post on the outside on both sides of the raised bed, stretch this across there, and you've got you a nice, quick and easy trellis for your cucumbers, your pole beans, your English peas, or whatever. So if you want an easier and quicker way to handle those trellis crops in your vegetable garden, do like I did and ditch that heavy cattle panel and go with this Hortonova trellis here. It's going to give you a lot more time to enjoy your vegetable garden as opposed to spending time lugging around those heavy panels. I'll put some links below to all of our sizes of this Hortonova trellis. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll see you next time.